Hey everybody, it's Brian Burns and welcome to this episode of Career Advice. Today I want to talk about kind of a belief that's so common with younger folks, and that is that they're going to be discovered. And this is a terrible way of viewing the world, meaning that, I'll work at this place and somebody's going to discover my unique talents, my unique comic abilities, beauty, athletic skills, musical talent, whatever it is that you have, that it is just going to happen naturally and organically. And this happens in the movies, and it has happened in life once or twice, but it's very rare. It's very unusual, and it's not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. A great title to an okay book. And what we got to do is take away that belief and own the personal responsibility of our career, of us finding out what we're good at us showing people what we're good at us asking for what we're worth, us taking responsibility for growing, for learning, for the mistakes that we make, for the judgment calls that we make, us taking total responsibility for that. That is where the freedom is. That is where you really excel with your career and with your life. Because very few people are so good at anything that they become discovered. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it in your life. There's the natural athlete, there's the natural artist, the natural cook, and the natural singer. And, how many of them actually make it? Actually make a career out of it, make a good living at it, make the dream life out of it, without them actually doing a lot of the work, or almost all of it. Very few just like, there he is, there's the person, the Forrest Gump of the world that just happens to fall into it. And if it happens to you, congratulations. But counting on it is the mistake. Not just if you happen to have that one talent. I don't have one. I'm sorry. I wish I did. And if you and believe me, but I've had that belief that somebody's going to discover, how this or that I am. So first of all, very few of us are ever that good at anything. World class, top 0.1%. Especially it's something that's one of those glamorous jobs. Comedian, actor, artist, singer, anything that actually does not have to get up early in the morning and go to work and grind it out with a boss and coworkers and an office and stuff. The reality is a lot of us are going to have to do that at certain times in certain places. The next thing is, are we even at the right place for that to happen? If our unique talent is not at that right place, and today the right place might be the internet, so it doesn't mean it has to be a specific geographic area, but it still tends to help. If you want to be in show business, you better be in Los Angeles in the United States, or New York City, maybe Chicago, maybe Boston, but other than that, it's just not going to happen. If you're the funniest guy in North Dakota, it doesn't matter. No one's going to discover you. It's like you look at all the funny comedians. A lot of them are Canadian, and they didn't stay in Canada. They came down to Los Angeles, and they knew that's where the place was. So we've got to, if we want to be discovered, we've got to work on becoming discovered. And what it takes is us going to the right place, wherever that is. And it has to be the right time. And that's it. If you were born at the wrong time for what you do, we got to do what's popular and what's needed at this time. If you think of Steve Jobs being born 10 years earlier, I was here in this conversation, or Bill Gates being born, some people say even 2 years earlier or later, it would have messed up the timing. The timing was right for them. They grasped on to what was hot early before everybody else did. And we all have to do that. We all have to be a little bit of Nostradamus, where we can see and be sensitive to what is going on and what is becoming popular. And there is no crystal ball. None of us have it. But we can't just ignore it. We have to play with it. We have to learn it. And today, there's no excuse. You can learn the minimal amount of stuff on almost everything on YouTube, online, somehow, some way, by asking a friend, asking somebody younger, somebody older, to show you how to use something and see if it works for you. But we have to find those things because timing is critical. I see this all the time. You see Warren Buffett today, said he was wrong about Amazon and Google and, a couple of other, he's now huge into Apple. But, the guy's in his 80s, right? He couldn't understand how retail was going to move from down the street to online. And boom, there it goes. And, he says, I thought it was a miracle and I don't invest in miracles. But now, will it still keep going up? Probably. I don't see, is it overpriced? Who knows? But, and plus he's a value guy, meaning that he buys stocks that are undervalued as opposed to have values based off of their future earnings. But timing is critical, certainly investing. And you know what? Our career is an investment. It's our time. It's our only unrenewable resource. We're only going to get so much of it. And I don't know where you are in life, but it's going to go by fast. You talk to anybody who's in their late 70s, 80s, or 90s. Ask them, how fast did it go by? No one says, oh, it was, they might have been drudgery, but it sure went by fast. It's the old Woody Allen joke where it's like, the food is terrible and the portions are way too small, right? And plus, if you want to make your life great, which is career is a big part of it because you got to pay for your life, and you want to do something that you like, that you're good at, that you get reimbursed for in a generous and sustainable way, you've got to have great timing. And I think you should think that the opposite of being discovered. I think you should be out there demonstrating your capabilities, networking with other people in your particular ecosystem of your capabilities, getting to know people, making friends, not trying to compete or push down anybody who might be a competitor. Just, either ignore them or just learn from them and be better than them. Because you just don't get anything out of that. So what if you beat them? You want a contract that they didn't get? Big deal. You're better off just showing that you are better, that you are. Learn from them and then describe how you're better. That's what I try and do. On the sales side, is like I just shake my head at some of them, and at the beginning I used to call them out, and now I don't even care. I just like, okay, if you think that works, go do it. Tell me it works. I know this will work for you. Number 5 is be consistent. Everybody loves consistency, yet we live in a world of a roller coaster. We gotta. Daily rituals, weekly rituals, and everything. But people love consistency. They love the person who shows up when they say they're going to show up, delivers as much, if not more, than what they say they're going to deliver, and who does what they say. That's trust. Trust is built out of consistency, and people like doing things with people they trust. So consistency, being that person that constantly delivers, that communicates when the things aren't going to go the way they are going to be expected to go. That is great. And consistency will be your superpower, because if you do anything consistently, you're going to get better at it. And you're going to reflect on it, and you're going to learn. That's what learning is consistency. It's doing, looking what happened, correcting what happened, and moving forward. So these are my 5 ways of either becoming discovered or don't worry about being discovered, and make people discover you by being so good that you cannot be ignored. I'll credit Steve Martin with that. That was his quote, I believe. I'm sure he might have got it from someone else, but that's it. Really appreciate you listening. Please go to b2brevenue.com for everything about what I do, and if I can help you and you want to get into a sales career and make good money, if that's for you, great. If it's not, totally understand. Send your questions to me at Brian G. Burns on LinkedIn. That's where I hang out most of the time. Happy to answer any of them. If you'd like to be on the show, let me know. Love to have you. Love to talk about career strategy and help you reach your happiness. Thanks for listening.